everyone. Welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. My name is Claire Candy Hough. Through my business, Angel Healing House, which can be found at angelhealinghouse.com. I'm a writer and an author, an international radio host, a Reiki master teacher, and an angel practitioner. My inspirational books entitled Angels of Faith and One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, are based on my recollections of our life in spirit, and they help us to remember our divine, eternal natures. Through Angel Healing House, I help people to let go of sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret that has kept them locked in the prison of the past, and I help them to let go of worry, stress, and control, which has kept them focused on an imagined future. And once they are no longer living in the past or the future, they can start to live in the present moment, which is the only place that they can experience synchronicities, miracles, and magic. As an angel practitioner, I help people to see their lives from a higher perspective with the help of an extraordinary group of angels who call themselves the Posse of Angels. Just like my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, I'm very excited to take some of your calls for that free angel advice. You can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. But before we get to those phone calls, welcome everyone to Angel Healing House Radio. To start today's show, I'd love to share an absolutely beautiful review that was posted on audible.com. This is where the audiobook for my #1 Amazon International bestseller, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of Angel Ariel. This is where you can download and purchase this beautiful audiobook. The review is Claire Candy Hough did an excellent job articulating the engaging story that keeps you intrigued while anticipating the next exciting turn of events. How many people get to have an angelic walk-in experience and then are able to share it in such keen detail that we feel that we are part of it? I loved hearing how she navigated a brand new divine adventure in Australia, and I was intrigued by the unique and powerful transformation in her life. Claire Candy's incredible writing combined with a powerful story brought a new perspective of heaven on earth to me as she shares with us a raw and authentic look into an extraordinary life. Bravo, Candy, for gifting us with your story. And that's from Melanie in Ohio. To purchase and download the audiobook of I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of me, of Angel Ariel, you can visit audible.com, or to purchase the book, you can visit Amazon or my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com. You know, as it is the last show of July, and I just can't believe it that we're through July already, my angelic family, who many of you know are called the Posse of Angels, well, the Posse of Angels and I want to say a hearty congratulations to everyone for completing the first half of 2019. Now, with 2019 being a year of self-empowerment, it has been paramount to be true to ourselves about what we want to experience from life. And once we've decided this, we then need to step forward with passion and purpose into the unknown. And we need to do this with courage and hope and trusting in ourselves. As many of you know, 2019 being the Chinese year of the pig, this year is all about fortune and luck, and it brings optimism and new life. Now, in Chinese, this brings us to a 12-year cycle, end of the cycle in Chinese tradition, and along with the rooster and the dog and the goat and the sheep and all the other animals, the pig is the last of the animals in the Chinese zodiac sign. The end of each dozen years marks a time for clearing and cleansing. It's also a time to contemplate things like, if we continue doing what we've done in the past, we will continue getting what we've gotten before. Now, this is not necessarily a bad thing, but I, like many out there, feel like our lives need an update. Some of the things that we've done are old hat. We can do them in our sleep. They're not a stretch for us. They're past their use by date. But if we desire to kickstart a fresh new start, we need to not just wish for something better in the next 12 years of our journey here in physical form, but we need to take inspired action to make it happen. Now, the Posse of Angels wish to remind us all that whether we're conscious of it or not, we are all being prepared for great change. And they're saying that some of the year's biggest change will manifest in this latter half of 2019 that we are about to enter into. Please do remember that when we are presented with changes, it is truly because we co created them to appear in our reality as a sign that our souls are more than ready to serve in a very different way with new connections, new opportunities, new jobs, perhaps moving down the street, moving into a new part of the city you're in, moving states, moving nationally, or moving overseas. These are all ways that the new can enter our lives. Now, trust that you are courageous and brave enough and more than able to cope with whatever manifests in your life at this very exciting time of becoming more of who you truly are. Now, the Posse of Angels is applauding many of us. They're saying that we have done well cleaning, cleansing, preparing ourselves. I don't know about you, but during this last Mercury retrograde, which we've experienced for the last 3 weeks, I cleaned out closets and then I cleaned out the cleaned out closets and then I cleaned out the cleaned out closets. Many of us have surrendered, not only cleaned out, but opened our hearts to release all expectations and attachments and shoulds in our life. Now, having done this, many are now ready and prepared to take excited, passionate, inspired action to serve in the most joyful, creative of ways possible. Okay, the Posse of Angels are reminding us that the rest of 2019 will see the lives of many of us pick up speed, get quite busy, and may even be chaotic. And this has a lot to do with things being relatively quiet before. They are sharing with us that it might even be challenging if we get too ahead of ourselves, and they can't stress enough that we need to stay only in the present moment and attend to what is in front of us. Some things that many of us will be dealing with are issues around our security as we pick up tensions from a fearful, energetically shifting world. It has been very important to be aware if we are allowing ourselves to be impacted by other people's beliefs and emotions to make sure we keep ourselves clear and free from taking on people's fears. To help us not come from a place of fear, it is important to make our choices always from a place of love, forgiveness, non judgment, and increase our belief in our abilities and what we hold in our hearts to be true. Everyone, many of us are getting very excited. We feel it in our waters, we feel it in the pit of our stomachs about serving in a new, passionate, exciting, creative way. There may be others who are doubting themselves and questioning whether or not they can actually wish to fulfill their destinies, their purpose in life. I guess that's why the Posse of Angels have entitled this show, Go On, Give Yourself Some Credit. Now, the Posse of Angels, they have asked me several times, why? Why, Candy? Why are people so hard on themselves? And why did they choose to focus their attention on what they haven't done, on how they could have done something better? Or, oh, why can't I be more like somebody else? As the majority of angels that make up my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, the majority have not lived a human life, and they've never had to experience duality, seeing themselves only as divine source energy. They not only feel whole and complete, but they also feel joy as to what they accomplish. With this deep, profound connection to Creator, to Source, they know without a shadow of a doubt that whatever they've achieved or not achieved is not only divine, but it is perfection for their soul. Many of us were brought up not to draw attention to our accomplishments and really to underplay who we are and the contribution that we make in the world. There have been whole generations who were programmed to not draw attention to their gifts and talents and to simply not give themselves credit. Giving ourselves credit is something that is really natural for all of us. And we can see it in very young children. You know, their unbridled enthusiasm and openness is infectious. This willingness to share sees many of them quite candidly shouting out answers and, excitedly raising their hands to be called upon. Now, unfortunately, this natural urge of wishing to share ourselves with others is often met with discouragement. We are taught to be quiet, behave, don't make a fuss. In olden times, it was children were meant to be seen and not heard. Now, this programming saw many of us falling silent and resigned as we stifled our pride in ourselves. Now, one of the greatest thieves that steals our ability to give ourselves credit is to accept another's expectation as to what our life should look like for us. I recall a former client of mine who was very upset, who had not had a good night's sleep in a very long time. Now, she explained to me that the recent healer that she went to see told her that as a result of their healing session together, she would be completely better and be able to sleep soundly. Well, after a few days, nothing happened, and there was simply no change. She then told me that another healer that she went to see told her that that she would start to feel better by a certain date. So she waited, and when that date came and eventually went, she didn't feel any better. She was filled with disappointment and anxiety. Now, this client had been to so many different healing practitioners, medical intuitives prior to this one, and I'm sure that each one of them was in their integrity, and they brought forth helpful, wonderful suggestions to my client. But regardless of their help, what was undermining my client's well being was her attachment as to the how and when of things happening, and her continual carousel of tension over expectations of relying totally on another person to poof, abracadabra, magically heal her rather than giving herself credit and having peace inside that she was diligent in doing all she could do to be healthy, and the acceptance that everything, even her symptoms, even that was going on in the moment, was perfection in the present moment. I suggested that she needed to know without a shadow of a doubt that everything, including her symptoms, were perfection, and that she needed to stop putting her ability to heal, to feel better, solely in the hands of someone else, and take some credit for what she had accomplished. Years ago, this client's weight topped out over 400 pounds, and it was through her will and determination that she turned her life around through focusing on her emotional wellness and a complete change in her diet and her lifestyle. This led her down the path of learning and applying organic and holistic therapies. And slowly over the years, the weight came off. Even though she is now a size 16, she remains critical, very hard on herself as to where her health should be now. I actually felt that it was her expectations and constant worry, stressing, and tension over her health that was causing more ongoing symptoms rather than any specific thing that she had not addressed, or the idea that she had not found the perfect healer to make all her symptoms magically disappear. Everyone, when I suggested that she take some time to look at the amazing strides that she had made in the past 10 years, she was slow to admit that when all was said and done, it was she and not any healing practitioners who had turned her health around. Sure, she had taken the advice of learned doctors and alternative therapists, but it was she who ultimately employed their suggestions day in, day out, and decided to open her ability to heal. Now, the Posse of Angels, here they come. They're asking us, just imagine what would happen if we took all of that energy of criticizing, worrying, stressing, judging, critiquing, and most of all, beating ourselves up, and put those energies into positively praising, encouraging, and supporting ourselves? If we did that, how much better would we feel? It's interesting. The more we give ourselves credit and praise for doing a good job, and I don't care where you are, because you got to start from somewhere. So wherever you are is perfection. And in that moment, give yourself credit for doing a good job. When that happens, our body reacts in a very happy way. The energies from giving ourselves credit then sends messages, pulsations to our organs that they too are doing a good job for us. If they could, our organs, such as our liver, our pancreas, our heart, our kidneys, our colon, and all of our other organs, they would smile if they had lips. They would smile, and the increased positive energy then would boost their optimum efficiency. Now, in addition, when we give ourselves credit that we're doing the best that we can do in any given moment, it does take the pressure and the tension that we were putting on ourselves, wishing for things to be different. And in that moment, it causes our stomach and our muscles to relax. This increased relaxation and de stressing allows the body to be at peace, to digest, and to assimilate the nutrients from our food. And when the body is peaceful, it can function at its optimal level. The Posse of Angels, I can hear them. They're giggling. They're laughing as they're reminding us that giving ourselves credit, well, it doesn't involve inflated egos or strutting around, puffing out our chests and strutting around like roosters, crowing about what we've done in order to get recognition. It's merely the open acknowledgement of our individual capabilities and the deep knowing that our efforts and accomplishments to do make a difference, as they hold special meaning not only for our betterment, but also for the betterment of the universe, as we are all one. And the Posse of Angels wishes to share with us another major area in which people put a great deal of emphasis that steals their energies and often undermines whatever positive conscious energies one might be giving to oneself. Now, this is the area of our achievements and accomplishments. With so many of us having been programmed to be human doings instead of human beings, we have received a lot of our attention and our recognition from doing things. Because of this, the very moment that we've accomplished a project or a task, we instantly set our attention on the next task to be done. By taking time out to pat ourselves on the back and really, really enjoy our achievements, we allow it to become part of who we are. The energy and resonance of achievement sends messages, pulsations to our brain and body. It actually fortifies the frequency of self confidence and belief in ourselves. Everyone, if we choose not to honor our accomplishments and just think, oh, well, anybody could do that, we will always be on a little hamster wheel of perpetuating, just adding things to endless lists, ticking them off, and never really getting to the end. With this constant worry that there's always more to do, we do not give ourselves the much needed sense of, I am enough. Now just pause for a moment. How many times do you tell yourself, no matter what I've accomplished, no matter what I have achieved, I am enough? It feels so good. And the more you say that, and the more you feel it from your heart, this conviction pulsates a beautiful energy through you, and you connect more with your divine, eternal nature of unconditional love, forgiveness, wholeness, and completeness. Now, the Posse of Angels is reminding us that before we incarnated into this lovely, lovely little meat suit, this human form that we're in, our accomplishments were just things that we did, as there was nothing more attached to them. In our one true home, behind the veil of forgetfulness, as my book emphasizes and explains, there is no grading scale. There's no extra prizes. There are not even there's no extra money in our pay packets when we're across the veil in heaven. In addition, when we cross the veil, when we are across the veil, we knew that there was no competition. And we knew that we were special and unique. There would never be anyone like us energetically. And the Posse of Angels are reminding us that whether we are physical or non physical, nothing's changed. And there still is no competition, as it's just an illusion that we choose to hang on to, undermine, fill us with fear, and sabotage us in the fulfillment of our dreams and desires. And no matter what the result, giving ourselves credit for trying is so beneficial for our health and our well being. The Posse of Angels wishes to remind all of us that when souls cross over, and they stand before the etheric council, the great group of wise sages, to go over our contracts in our book of life. Souls are not most proud of their money they accumulated, their success, their fame, or particular accomplishments. They are most proud and they give themselves credit simply for having tried. By giving ourselves credit for what we've done and for trying our best, we're encouraged to try more things, be adventurous, be curious to experience more of life. And when we give ourselves permission to acknowledge our achievements, the universe does have a magical way of revealing more connections that provide us with even greater opportunities to be proud of ourselves. Now, do take time out to nurture and nourish your positive, high frequency energies by being sweet to yourself and giving yourself credit for who you are and focusing solely on the present moment. No matter what you've done or have not accomplished in your life, we all make a tremendous difference by just being here at this extraordinary time in Earth's ascension. So take a few moments to consider, if you're not giving yourself credit, try replacing your attention on all the things that you think that you aren't and on the things that you have not accomplished, and put that focus on building yourself up, encouraging, supporting, and praising those things that make each and every one of you a very, very special being indeed. You've been listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. Do remember, Angel Healing House Radio airs every week at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just a reminder, you can go to my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, to purchase my extraordinary books I spoke about, One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and its sequel, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of Angel Ariel. Also, they are available for purchase on Amazon, and this one is an audiobook on audible.com. Oh, I always forget my other beautiful book, Angels of Faith. It's about my 2 near-death experience and how we are divine and eternal. So we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be taking some of your calls for those free angel readings. We'll see you on the flip side.
Have you discovered the remarkable books at angelhealinghouse.com? Author Claire Candy Hough has channeled rare books of inspiration and insight.
Angels of Faith is an inspiring story of healing, comfort, and hope that reminds us that death is not to be feared, but embraced with joy.
One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness takes readers on a roller coaster ride through Angel Ariel's 5 most important lives on Earth, as well as her experiences in the afterlife, and helps us remember our own journey across the veil.
And Claire Candy's autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, which details the 2003 soul exchange that took place when Claire Candy walked out of her body and Angel Ariel walked in, creating heaven on earth for herself and others.
To find out more about these wonderful books, visit angelhealinghouse.com today. To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Hough, Angelic Walk-In Angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com.
Hello, everyone. You're back with me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. Before we go to California and Monterey, where our callers are today. Oh, by the way, if you want to call in for a free angel reading with myself and my wonderful angelic family, the Posse of Angels, that number to call in is 1-800-930-2819. And we'd love to hear from you. But just a reminder, tomorrow, right at the cusp of July and August, there is a new moon on the 31st, and this one is encouraging us to reclaim our power, our joy, our self expression. It's not so much a time for new ideas and insights, but rather it's a time to simply be in gratitude for exactly who you are. The new moon will help us to set intentions for better self care. This could be diet and exercise. This could be giving yourself more credit and stop beating yourself up. More balance. How about quality time to do what fulfills your heart, and a commitment to put more energy into our purpose rather than fulfilling the purpose that others would have for us? This energy will breathe new life into our creativity, our enthusiasm, and well being. Now, with these energies emphasizing us nurturing and the words renewal, restart, what within you are you wanting to birth? What are you wanting to begin or to renew? What is calling for change in your life? In other words, what can I nurture within to help me rebirth into more of who I truly am? As we are being called to deepen, to give to ourselves through self love and self nurturing, we then will have so much more to give to life and to the world. Let's go to our callers. Let's go out in the world. We have Artie. Artie in California, you're on the line with Claire Candy Hough. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
What?
My question was in regards to my significant other.
Mhm.
Was a job that came in for him. The expectations were wonderful. It seemed like it was going to be a good fit, but the hours were not up to where we thought they were going to be.
Mhm.
And it could change and become, a full time. At the moment, it's not. And I was wondering if you would recommend to stay, or if the angels would recommend to stay at the current job, or get training in something else that might provide a better job. But he would probably have to let this one go in order to get into school and train for something technical, like welding or something of that sort.
Okay. Okay. His soul knows what to do. If he had all the money in the world, which he does, by the way, and there was just his fulfillment, he would the decision would be very easy. He's making his decisions on restrictions and limitations. Where we are in the collective consciousness is we don't have to accept compromise anymore. Okay? So the Posse of Angels cannot tell him, because it's free will. They cannot tell him what to do, but they can certainly tell him if it's dishonoring the amount of money that's coming in, not so much the amount, but the valuing of his gifts and talents, what he values that at. If he feels undervalued, this is really important because this energy will seep out into all areas of his life. So, um, and just because he's been offered this, the universe can only give to us, Artie, what we show it, the level as to what we will accept. So if we accept compromise and say, oh, this is okay, And then we go into it with this feeling of, well, it's a job, or, we've done this. If we have this resigned feeling in our heart, then this will affect all other areas of our life. So he needs to really see, and just because he says perhaps no to this, does not mean that the universe won't say, oh, you won't accept this because of this. Let's raise the bar and see what you will accept. And he needs to really connect with his heart and see what is best for him. Let's go to the cards and see if they have any other messages on this. um, because there is no right and there's no wrong. There's not one is better than the other, because everything comes with lessons and learning. um, the first card that's coming out for him is the Nine of Wands card. Now, the Nine of Wands card is the battler card. It's the feeling like you've been through the wars. Um, they're saying for him just to keep going and to hold to his convictions, hold to what he feels true in his heart. If he feels undervalued, then maybe it is best that he go back to study, and then so this will allow him to step up to a new level. Next card that's coming out for him is, that's funny, it's the Nine of Wands, and then the next card is the Ten of Wands. This is putting the burden down. This is putting the burden down on what he perhaps feels like he's burdened. And these are all about career, because it's the three cards about wands. And the Seven of Wands is about him stepping up and being seen, not because there's a competition or anything like that, but because of what he feels in his heart. So I would really ask your significant other what he feels in his heart, regardless of anything to do with monetary thing, but his value and where he would like to see that. Because if he doesn't take inspired action to it, if he accepts something that he's settling for, then it will always be settling very heavily on his heart. I hope that's been helpful.
It really has. It really, really has. And you're absolutely right about the gratitude and how we need to bring that energy in. Thank you so much. You just reaffirmed everything that.
And you know what? Okay, hold on, Artie. Please get him to do this. This is just so magical, and it's helped so many of my clients over the last 16 years. Get him to sit for 15 or 20 minutes every single day, and then center on his breathing, center on his heart. Open his heart to receive and shout out with his eyes closed at the top of his lungs, thank you, creator, source, universe, God, whatever you want to call that higher source. Thank you for my extraordinary position. I get to work with extraordinary, wonderful, like-minded people in beautiful surroundings. I get valued for who I am, my skills and my talents. I get to be financially remunerated, and I love what I'm doing, and I love working as part of this team. And not just parrot fashion and say it out loud, but feel it on his heart. Do this several times a day, and he doesn't even need to know what this thing is. But the more he does it, it's that feeling that will connect with the miracles and the magic of the unlimited, boundless possibilities that the universe can offer us. And that's the energy that brings things to us. And when he does get this miraculous position, I want you to call Angel Healing House Radio and tell us about it. Can you do that for us?
I certainly will. I certainly will. Do you think that position would need training, or is that like a current?
Let me see. I'll ask one more question, then I'll go to my next caller. Will this need training? They're saying yes. And with that, I'll go to my next caller. Thank you, Artie.
Thank you. God bless you.
God
Bye.
bless you. Take care. Bye-bye. Let's go to our next caller. We have Judy in Phoenix. Judy, you're on the line with Angel Healing House Radio and Claire Candy Hough. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, Judy. How are you?
Hi, Claire. I didn't know sure I was on. I wanted to ask, and it may be redundant to what you said, but I feel a little like confusion about my path. I've been a fashion designer, as I mentioned, and been taking screenwriting classes.
Right.
And I moved into more production design, which is more of what I love. But I feel torn, and I really don't feel like going back for the school and for my classes in the fall because it's so much work.
Right.
And I guess I needed a little guidance. Am I on the right path? Should I finish the program? And
Okay.
I read a script that I really, really love. So.
Okay. All right. Your joy, this is not about, in your case, Judy, this is not about going back to school. This is about your joy and your absolute enthusiasm and excitement that you have for these two areas of your life. They don't have to be an either or. I don't know if you've ever considered writing a screenplay on the fashion. Well, maybe I'll give somebody an idea, but the fashion design murders, or the fashion design, like a thriller, a mystery of a movie where the fashion designers, it goes around the world and how they start getting bumped off because of their knowledge. There's something there that they're saying that you haven't married yet. You haven't married yet this these two things, because you're always coming at it like it has to be an either or. Also, please, Judy, stop figuring it out. It can't be figured out.
Okay.
It has to be lived. It has to be lived.
Okay.
And the more that because a lot of times you are totally in your brain. You're totally in your brain, your limited linear way of thinking. It's not going to come by that way. It's going to come by because of what you create.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Yeah, it's not an either or. They're saying both of these things nourish your soul. And you can ask, please sit for that 15, 10, 15, 20 minutes every single day, and allow for the universe. Say, please, creator, angels, whatever you want to say, please show me the signs how I can marry my gifts and talents to be of best service to the world, and to bring out the little girl in me to get so excited that when I'm doing it, it creates such an energy in the world that it gets others excited about them being creative as well. This might entail you traveling as well. That's what I heard with the travel card. Now, the first card that's coming out for you is, I'm not surprised, is the Wheel of Fortune. It's turning in your destiny. Just because we've had this conversation now about you marrying, there's something about the I don't know, the interior design murders or something like that, where I don't know. If I get any other ideas, maybe you send me an email and I'll, you know, clue you in on it. But they're saying it's the marriage, it's the divine marriage between your talents. And you'd separate your arm from your body, or your ears or something. It's a whole package that you are, and it's now turning in your
Well,
favor.
that's very true because I'd like to do the whole thing, but I think the culture wants to separate us. Like, are you a screenwriter or are you a
They
director or
they
are you?
do. They do. And you know what? They also have programmed us to be in fear so that they can control us. Um,
Yeah.
but we are the salmon swimming upstream, those of us who are awakened and enlightened, and you are creating your own reality in every single moment. Judy, you are creating your own reality. My reality is one where I get to write and I get to speak and I get to engage with others, and the universe keeps sending me abundance to keep doing this. And I've established a relationship with the universe, and that's what they keep doing. You set the bar. The
Wow.
next card that's coming out for you is the Eight of Wands. This is the opportunity that's opening up. The more that you now figured it out, that you don't have to separate what you do and become more of who you are and utilize all these talents and abilities, just like I said in the channel today. That's what's going to open up. And also the deer here, I love these cards. The deer here is to be gentle and kind to yourself. Don't pick yourself apart and try to, delineate this from that, because it's all going for this amazing, extraordinary Judy energy. And what comes out of that is a contract. The Justice card comes out. Is people will, what I'm hearing is build it and they will come. Create it and they will come, just like the field of dreams. And that's where we are in this fifth dimension and higher, many of us. The penny is dropping and we're like little kids. And I've spoken about my wiggle before on this program, that I wiggle with excitement and I go in that direction. I don't have to figure it out. This is your truth. The Justice card is saying, yes, it's about contracts, but it's being about truthfully living every aspect of who you are. Don't you try to dissect and, compartmentalize, because that's what we've been programmed to do. You are Judy and you are multidimensional and you can do it all. So I'm going to go to my traveler cards as well. And I don't usually pick a fourth card, but because so many of us are going to be switching professions, or not so much switching professions, but bringing to ourselves new things that are going to allow us to serve in new ways that we never even thought possible, that are going to open up different avenues, opportunities for us. I'll just pick a traveler card for our lovely Judy and see what comes out. The card that's, view from above. And it says, get the big picture. And I'll read this to you. It's crazy to forget. It's easy to forget what the overall journey is about when the traveler gets caught up in day-to-day survival and the ups and downs of life. It's only when the traveler takes time to look at the big picture that he or she realizes that most worries and anxieties are only temporary. Imagine yourself in your future and ask yourself if what you are doing now will be important to your future self. Focusing on these concerns takes up valuable life force energy. Keep your focus directed on your heart, on those things that are important to your heart, and let everything else drop away. They want you to dream bigger, Judy. That is your end message. You haven't started to dream big enough. And I'll leave you with that.
Oh, thank you. Such a beautiful message.
Okay, God bless you. And I'm getting very excited about combining your gifts and talents. We'll speak soon. Take care.
Take care. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Love you. Isn't that wonderful? Let's go to our next caller. Let's go to the beautiful Monterey Bay area. Let's go to Florence. Hi, Florence.
Oh, hello, Candy.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you? I'm very well.
Oh, I'm all right. Yes, I'm okay. Here I am calling again.
What's going on in your life?
Okay, well, I mean, I had called, I don't know, a few weeks ago about my housing. So what it is we got evicted from our apartment about like a month ago.
Right.
And then we have 2 months notice to leave. But then what we did is wrote a letter and said, oh, we'd like to have a extra month because like the housing is so expensive. But the thing is, down deep inside of me, I really have been wanting to leave this area for quite a long time. And I've kind of attempted several times to move down to Southern California. And so, I mean, we're kind of my mother and I are kind of in a limbo. We've been looking in this area, but sometimes in my heart I say, well, why don't I go for it? Even though I have till September 24th to be out of this apartment. So I did, and usually in massage, the field, it's hard to find full-time, well, some jobs that are high paying, and that gives good benefits. So I did send my resume like yesterday to like a 5-star hotel down in Santa Barbara, and so I'm just wondering like what the angels think about if I continue to stay in the area or just like you say burst. you know,
Yeah. Okay.
like you
Now,
were,
okay.
yeah,
Okay. Okay, Florence, I've got about 4 minutes or 5 minutes to go. And they say the
sure, go
reason
ahead. Okay.
the reason this has been coming to your heart for some time now is because where you are is past its use by date.
Yep.
In order for your soul to grow, they're saying, in fact, in Southern California, there are new adventures, new people to meet. The angels have already set up new doors to open for you, but they can't, the floor can't support you uh, in Southern California if you don't move there. And they're saying, and many people would want, it just to be handed on a silver platter, but they're saying that in this instance,
Yeah.
don't wait until September. You have a whole month. You have a grace period. How wonderful to of August to be able to go down. Now, all you need to do is say, angels, God, please show me and direct me to the right, to not the most beneficial area where I can find work and friends and a great place to live and all of that. But definitely where you are now is past its use by date. And as I said to you and your mother last time, you have been thinking a long time about moving on. The alarm bells have been there, but you have done nothing about it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
well, there's been obstacles, but anyway.
Right. But
Yeah.
you haven't been proactive. So let's go to the cards and see what comes out. This is a really important thing for
Sure.
you to do because once you do this, feel the fear. And as I said today in the readout, be courageous, be brave, and say thank you. The God and the angels, the universe is always working in our favor. Always, always, always. And on the flip side of our courage and going in the direction that our heart is telling us to do, to go in, there are always rewards and miracles. The angels don't tell us to jump and then they don't provide a soft place for us to land or don't open our wings to fly. They're not masochistic. They're doing this because they
Yeah.
love us and they want to help us to grow, to be challenged. And to be challenged is not a bad thing because, as I said in the readout, when we get across the veil, we are most proud of ourselves, of the things that we have actioned, been proactive and tried and taken expired action charge. Now, the Three of Wands is a travel card. This is
Hmm.
watching your ships come in, certainly, but it's also a card of magic wherever two or more, you and your mom and the divine, are proactively get on that ship, euphemistically, and go out, and you will be rewarded with a lovely new place. You know, you will find work. This is the Eight of Pentacles. This is the card of being recognized. I did not get such an up feeling about Santa Barbara. I got more to the SoCal area. Um, I don't know if you ever investigated a place around Culver City, Westchester,
Oh,
El Segundo, all of those places.
okay.
They're not as
Okay.
expensive as like a Santa Monica or Pacific Palisades or that, but there's great housing down there, and the work is waiting for you down there. And the next card that's coming out for you is your rebirth. This is the Judgment card.
Okay.
So all of those are pointing in the direction of you moving, and take this time out now. I will pull you a traveler card because as so many of us are going to be traveling, moving on from where we are, and keep opening to receive the signs that the angel sends you, because it may not be in the way that you think it's going to come in. And a lot of times we stop ourselves. So your card is Wandering Path. And the message to you, Florence, is enjoy the journey. I just have time now to read this to you. It's beautiful, the wandering path. When you're traveling,
Okay.
you're always in the present moment. A mystic traveler has no specific goals for the future, is not focused upon the destination. Everything is fresh and new. Your attitude and the little girl inside of you getting excited for this new adventure is going to be so very important. At times, it's difficult to accept everything that occurs on the road of life, especially if the road seems to twist and turn in unexpected ways. However, this card does suggest that every experience is supporting you for your highest good and your spiritual evolution. Bless the fact that you were evicted, because you still would have been there unless they evicted you. If there's something you can't accept, start by gently accepting the fact that you can't accept it. Allow for your own wandering path is the key to grace and ease and peace in your life. I hope that's been helpful for you.
Oh, great, great. Yes, very much. Thank you, Candy, for your advice, and it helps a lot.
Okay, Florence, take care and give my love to your mom. God bless you.
Sure, I will. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
And that just about wraps the show for today. Thank you to all my callers. Thank you so much to everyone who's listening and recommends the show. Remember that Angel Healing House Radio airs every week at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on Transformation Talk Radio. Do remember my beautiful books. Go to angelhealinghouse.com to order my books. And also to audible.com for the audiobook of I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the amazing story of myself, Angel Ariel. And remember, everyone, do fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself this coming week. I'm wishing you love and, as always, angel blessings. And I'll speak with you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.